Hey there, this is Seth. And if you're buying a piece of real estate, one of the critically important things that you just have to do is to verify that the person that you're buying the property from owns free and clear title to the property. So a lot of people do this by ordering a title insurance policy, which is totally cool. That's the way probably most people handle it. And it's probably the safest way, I would say, by far. Um, at the very least, you should be doing, what's called a title search, where you actually search through the title and deed documents yourself to verify that it's all clear and good to go. I've actually got a separate video explaining how to do that if you're interested. But in order to even look through the title documents, which just to show you an example of what those look like, I'm scrolling through them right now on the screen. But I mean, in order to even get your hands on these documents, you have to know where to get them. And there's really three ways that I know of to get these documents. The first way, and probably the most user-friendly way to do this, is to order them through a title company in your area, assuming that you're in a state that uses title companies. And all you have to do is go here to Google. That's kind of a weird little logo here, but all you got to do is go to Google and then search county, state, and title company. So, for example, if I was buying a property in Orange County, California, I would type in Orange County, California, and then title company. And right here it's going to list a bunch of title companies for me with phone numbers and addresses, and I can even see them on this map here. And all I have to do is just start calling these one by one and saying two things. First of all, I'm saying, hey, can you provide me with a title search on this particular property? And I would give them the county name and the parcel number. And just being sure to reiterate that when I say title search, I mean an actual list of these, deed and other relevant documents for the past 40 years. So I first of all start with that, and then second, I would say, how much does that title search cost? And in my experience, title searches from title companies usually somewhere in the range of 100 to 150 bucks, somewhere in that ballpark. They can cost more. I've heard some title companies charging 300 to 600 bucks for them, which I think is crazy. But really, I mean, as long as it's within that range, 150 bucks or less, I'm usually fine with ordering a title search from them. So yeah, all you got to do is just order from them, and usually within about a week or so, they would have those documents for you, and they could usually email them to you, and you can just start reviewing them yourself and going from there. So that is option number one. Option number two would be to actually get your title search from what's called an abstractor. And the way you would do that, abstractors are actually who a lot of these title companies use to pull up these documents. And abstractors are people who will go to the county either in person or online, and they will pull up all the relevant documents for the title company so that it's all in one neat package and you've got all the information right there. And the way you can find an abstractor is to go to the county register of deeds office, or Google them, or just somehow get their phone number. So just for example, here we'll do Orange County, California Register of Deeds. And it looks like it's called a recorder in California. So you would go to this website here, and all you do is find their phone number right there, and we would give them a call and say, hey, I'm looking for an abstractor who can help me pull a title search. Do you happen to know any abstractors or have any phone numbers of people that I could call to help me with this? I've found, at least in my experience, a lot of these county workers, they know a lot of abstractors because they're working with them all the time to get these documents that they need. So it's just a matter of going right to the source and say, hey, let me know of a good abstractor or two so that I can try to work with them. And by doing it this way, you're kind of cutting out the middleman. You're cutting off the title company and going directly to the source. And usually it'll cost a little bit less to do it that way. Like I've got one county here in Michigan where I work, where when I order it directly from the abstractor, the cost is more like 50 to 75 bucks. So it's just a matter of finding those people, usually through the Register of Deeds or Recorder's office, and just working directly with them. Now, the third and last way that I know of, or that I've tried to use in the past, is to actually become the abstractor. So, I would actually go onto this Orange County website and figure out how their recording system works and how I can actually pull up and order copies of all the relevant deed documents myself. The benefit of this is that if I can figure it out, It's very, very cheap. Like we're talking, $15 or less total, because you're not really paying anybody to do any work for you. You're doing the work yourself, and all you're doing is paying the convenience fee to the county to get these documents. The downside is that it's not user-friendly at all, and especially if you're working in a brand new county you've never worked in before. A lot of these websites can have extremely confusing systems that just I've seen just some really bad ones out there. So they're not all bad, but it's just something. It's the risk you run when you try to do it yourself. And also, you run the risk of possibly missing irrelevant documents that are very important to have. So, I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, if you're brand new to this, I probably would not recommend trying to be the abstractor yourself, just because it kind of requires a lot of preconceived knowledge before you start jumping into that. However, if you've been into this for a few years and you really have a solid grip on what you're doing and how this all works, feel free. I mean, it's definitely a valid way to do it. It can save you a lot of money if you do it every time. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the 3 ways that I know of and that I've used in the past. They've all worked well for me on in varying situations. So hopefully you found that helpful. And yeah, good luck. See ya.